Hey, everybody, and welcome back to Inside the Force. It is 2025.
Woo!
Happy New Year, everyone. I know it's. I think I heard Hannah the other day. Like, technically, after like January 7th, you're not supposed to like say Happy New Year anymore.
What? Who said that?
So, but this is the first time we're seeing our listeners and so Happy New Year, Hannah. Also, happy birthday coming up.
Thank you.
For you. Yeah. How was your little pre-Disney birthday trip?
Oh, it was wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. We did go to a galaxy far, far away as well.
Mm-hmm.
Did Smuggler's Run, Rise of the Resistance, ended the day at Oga's. So.
Oh, yeah. Nice.
And the Christmas decorations were still up, too.
Oh, wow. That's surprising. Usually they tear those down the first. Yeah.
No, they're still up. So I was very, very happy about that.
That's great. The tree was up, too, still?
Yeah, the tree right by the dinosaur in the lake, that was still up.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Good news. Good job. Thanks everybody for joining us. And again, I did a video for our patrons and thanking them for all the support in 24.
Yeah.
But here, thanks to all of our listeners and all of our watchers for hanging out with us in 2024. We got 2025 getting going now, and a lot of the same, which we got some commentaries still to knock out, and we got some content that we'll go over here on this episode of what's coming in 2025, what we're kind of looking forward to, and get through some news, and then we'll talk about episodes 6 and 7 of Skeleton Crew as we gear up for the finale next week of this series. So a lot to get through. And Allie's like checking out. All right, real quick on some comments from our last episode, which was kind of our year in review episode for 2024.
Yes.
Thrawn says, glad you both had a good Christmas. That's so awesome. Your daughter got to meet Ashley. Yes. I'm like you. I don't like going up to people and disturbing them, but for certain people, you have to do it. And Ashley is one of them for sure. It's always great to find out how nice actors can be. I got to meet Hayden Christensen and Mads Mikkelsen at Star Wars Celebration.
What?
And they both were so nice to me and my son. It was a great experience. That's great.
That's amazing.
2024, been a bit of a mixed year, but still enjoyed a lot. Loved Bad Batch, Tales of the Empire, and loved Skeleton Crew so far. Also, being a novel fan, we have gotten some great ones this year, so can't complain too much. Looking forward to Andor in 2025, and also can't wait for the Reign of the Empire novel. Episode 4 of Skeleton Crew was probably my least favorite, but they made up for it with episode 5, which was definitely my favorite so far. You're right, Hannah. Jod's one line gave you a big hint about his past and who he might be. Hope you both have a great new year, and thank you for all you've done in 2024. Appreciate that, Thrawn. Thanks for your support, as always. And then we got Kamara Jade, came on here and said, my favorite Star Wars thing this year was definitely the Bad Batch. Such a good ending. I had to replace my pop socket not too long ago, and I got an awesome Bad Batch themed one. In my Mandalore feedback, and maybe by the time you guys record next, you'll have more answers, questioning if the supervisor is actually a human, a droid, or just a straight program. Even crazier would be if it was a mint being controlled by some high-up Empire remnant in secret that could loop Skeleton Crew into the upcoming Heir to the Empire thing.
Oh. There's
also the fact that the hologram of the captain was too bad to make anything out at all. Might be someone who would recognize, we would recognize if we could see him. Yes, that's a good point. And then she goes up, and then she mentions about New Year's. She goes, I'll be asleep for New Year's, but we've also did the Snap 1 year, and I highly recommend. It's probably cool. It's pretty cool to watch them hear all the neighbors set off fireworks. Yeah. Yeah, we didn't do one this year actually. We had people over, and by the time they left, it was kind of too late to start a movie, and so we just kind of got on the couch downstairs. Plus, my daughter's boyfriend was still over here all night, so it's like, Anyway, Happy New Year, and thanks for the comments there, guys, about that. We'll definitely, yeah, and tomorrow, I think we did talk about that on. Actually, I'm not sure if I did or not. I can't remember what episode you did for Mandalore.
I did the one where they were on at Akron.
So that was episode 4, right?
Yes.
Okay, so I don't know if you guys talked about that, but I do have a lot of questions about the supervisor, but we can get into that here when we talk about these episodes coming up.
Yeah, but she brought up a question. What if, how long ago was the pirate tale? How many years ago? Was it hundreds of years, or was it just decades?
I don't think that's really been established.
Because what if Wim's father is
the supervisor?
Not the supervisor, but the captain that was looking for the treasure.
Oh no, I think it's been a long time.
Okay, yeah, it's been too long for that. I would like to know.
I mean, there's a reason why I think we can't see him, but I'm not sure. Because could it be the supervisor? Is kind of what I was thinking.
That's what I was thinking too. If the supervisor destroyed the original supervisor and just is controlling,
right?
Controlling,
but he would be very old. So I don't know if maybe that means he's a species that lives a long time, or
it's Palpatine's clone.
Yeah, I mean, it could be I guess could be a Wookiee, right, or something like that, because they're like 200 years old. So, but it feels like this. I don't, that's the thing, is it feels like, here's the thing, going back, actually the last few days, I've been getting my wife caught up on the episodes. So we watched 3 and 4 and 5, and then this weekend we're gonna watch 6 and 7 before the finale. But I don't know if you remember when they were approaching, which one was it, at Akron or something like that?
Well, I think at Akron was the one that they approached first.
Oh, in episode 4, right?
Yes.
So while I didn't really catch this until this last episode when they were going into at Atten, that when they were approaching at Akron, you can see the satellites.
Yes.
At the time, I thought they were just satellites.
Oh, I thought that was part of a barrier.
But that's part of the barrier. See, I didn't really pick up on that. That is the barrier that was there for that planet. So it makes you wonder, I guess, how they figured out how to get rid of the barrier, because at Atten has still been protected.
I wonder if it was because, we see remnants of the Clone Wars down there. Mm-hmm. I wonder if maybe that's what ended up.
It's possible, yeah. Yeah, and I guess maybe if you can somehow take one out, maybe the whole thing goes down.
Yeah, maybe.
So and it's funny because rewatching them again with her, we're definitely told every episode that Jod is a bad person.
We keep on being told, don't trust him. And you're
it's so funny in the end, you're like, no, he's going to be a good guy because he's a Jedi. And no.
But those crystal blue eyes, there's no way.
Yeah.
There's no
way. Okay, so good stuff. So we'll get into talking about those episodes here in a second. Real quick, I wanted to run through a little bit of news. It looks like, according to, I just read this today, actually, and again, this is kind of in the trades and hasn't been totally released from Lucasfilm yet, but apparently Lucasfilm is going to recast Baylan Skull, who obviously was played by the late Ray Stevenson. And the new actor playing Baylan is going to be Rory McCann, who everybody, he's most famous right now, at least for, is playing the Hound in Game of Thrones. So, what do you think about that?
I think it's a good choice. I absolutely love Rory's acting. I think he did a great job in Game of Thrones. I think I've seen him in a couple of other things as well. And he looks very similar. So I think it could definitely work. And he's just a great actor. So, I mean, I think we can all agree we're not happy that the character had to be recast, but there's kind of no other option.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, besides just writing the character out.
Exactly, but you're not going to have a good reason to write him out.
Yeah, yeah.
So, if you're going to recast him as somebody, I really, really like this choice.
Yeah, I think I think he definitely, I definitely think he can look the part for sure. I actually think, I mean, I don't know, but I would venture to guess. I feel like Rory, based on what I've seen him in Game of Thrones, is probably taller than Ray Stevenson.
He probably is.
Yeah, I feel like he's bigger, like, because I mean, the Hound in Game of Thrones is a big dude,
Yeah.
And most of the time in Game of Thrones, I feel like he's around women a lot, though, so he kind of towers over them because, he was hanging out with Little Stark,
Arya
a lot, but he's a towering menace in Game of Thrones and supposed to be, but Ray Stevens is not a small dude by any means either, but you can definitely see in the face, once he gets his beard gray and all that stuff. I think he is gonna look very similar to Ray, and the way this is reporting, which I didn't really know. Apparently they were actually really good friends.
Aww.
Ray Stevenson and Rory. Yeah, so it's saying that it would be a blessing. That he would have received blessing from Ray Stevenson's widow to play him. So that makes you feel good, I think.
It's incredibly sweet. I did look up their heights. It looks like Ray was 5'8", and Rory is 6'6".
Yeah, see,
I didn't know Ray was my husband.
I didn't know Ray was that short. Right? I thought Ray was maybe at least 6 foot, but because that means I'm taller than Ray. I'm like 5'10". So
and Rory's taller than my husband, who's 6'5".
Didn't Ray seem so much taller in Ahsoka?
The power of film, man. The power of film.
I know. And because Ray played, I can't remember his character's name, but one of the in Thor, right? He played what do you
wait, am I looking at the wrong person?
Lady, what's her name? Lady shit. In the Warriors 3, he was part of the Warriors 3. That's what it was. It was called the Warriors 3 in Thor.
Okay.
That was Ray Stevenson.
Oh, so no. We're looking at we're looking at the wrong guy. Sorry, 1 second.
Oh.
I think I have the height wrong. Oh, 6'3". He's 6'3". My bad. I was
6'3"?
looking at the wrong Ray Stevenson.
Oh, okay. Okay, good. That makes me feel better. Okay.
Yeah, no, he's 6'3".
So he's 6'3", and Rory is 6'6". So yeah, 3 inches, not bad. You can get away with that.
Yeah, that should be fairly easy. Sorry, I wrong person. I was like, that
is there another Ray Stevenson?
Apparently.
Or
no, Google for some reason autocorrected and this is when I saw. I typed in Ray Stevenson, but it corrected it to Ray Stevens.
Oh, okay, yeah, okay.
And I didn't realize it because I typed in Ray Stevenson.
Okay, great. So they're close. That's gonna work. That's gonna work fine.
Google.
That's gonna work fine. I think Rory would do a great job in fulfilling that role. So
yes,
and that's good. That's good because I think you're right. I think it was gonna be odd to not have him in the next season of Ahsoka especially the way we left it.
Yeah.
So that's good. top of the year, there's always going to be some development news. And I know you're going to love this if you haven't seen this already, but apparently, again, this is rumors right now, but apparently they as in Lucasfilm is developing a series set in the Old Republic. Now the question is they don't know. They kind of didn't get a lead on whether or not it is an animated series or a live action series.
I don't care. It is Old Republic content. It can be animated. I do not care.
Yep, I don't care either. I don't care either. I don't care either. But I will say, those. I'm sure you've seen them. Those kind of like ultra 3D realistic trailers. They like the cinematic trailers they put out for those games.
Yes.
That's what I would love, a movie like that.
That would be amazing.
I would. Like, don't do. I mean, I don't mind the 3D that the Bad Batch is done in and the Clone Wars, but if you're gonna give me animated, like, do it that way, and because that's awesome, and
that would be great.
Or do it live action. I'm all for live action too, obviously, but
either way, give it to us.
Yep. But so that's the big news there. I think we're 3 months away from Star Wars Celebration, and that is where the anticipation is building for a lot of these announcements.
Right.
So hopefully we will get news about, because Ahsoka is the only scheduled Lucasfilm series to be shooting this year. And
shooting this year. I was about to say, wait, isn't there a second season of Andor?
Yeah, but in production, this is the only series in production right now. So we don't know when's the next. So the rumor is obviously there's going to be some kind of announcement at Star Wars Celebration for either this series, at Old Republic series, or some other animated series or something, because Ahsoka, that means Ahsoka's not even going to come out till probably mid to late next year, 2026. Yeah. So there's going to be a big gap once Andor ends to the next series we get, unless there's an animated series in the pipeline, which I gotta believe there is.
Oh yeah.
So I anticipate something getting announced and probably coming out later this year. For that, and hopefully I'm still leaning towards. I'm telling you, I'm still leaning towards it being a Ventress series or something like that.
I think so.
Yeah. So, all right, we'll see on that. So let me swip the script a little bit, and because we're kind of talking about what's coming out, let's go ahead and move into kind of what is coming this year, actually, before we talk about the episodes. And so 2025. So like we just said, the only live action series we are getting after Skeleton Crew wraps up next week is Andor, which will be debuting April 22nd on Disney Plus, which is the same weekend, obviously, as Star Wars Celebration. So clearly they're going to be doing some premieres there and things like that, which is always a great thing to do at Celebration.
Oh yes.
And I'm telling you, Hannah, you better be ready, because we're going to Celebration next time it's in the States.
Yes, let's do it.
So and hopefully that's going to line up with like a new movie or something like that coming out. We'll see all kinds of clips. It's so fun.
Here's hoping.
Do what?
I said, here's hoping.
Yeah, and hopefully, I'm hoping it's in Orlando when it comes back.
That would be great.
I mean, they've kind of put the last couple ones in Anaheim, but I'd rather go to Orlando.
Agreed.
So Andor season 2, and then Young Jedi Adventures, the animated series that takes place in the High Republic. There's season 2, part 2 coming later this year. Visions Volume 3 is going to be coming out sometime in 2025. Of course, like I said, Celebration is happening April 18th through the 20th. You've got new books coming. The High Republic is wrapping up finally its whole 3-phase run.
Dang.
With Charles Soule's Trials of the Jedi will be coming out June 17th to wrap up the High Republic. There are a couple other novels from Claudia Gray and Justina Ireland that are coming out before that. You've got The Acolyte Wayseeker, which is a prequel novel coming out. You've got The Crystal Crown, which is a young adult novel based on Yord and Jeki from Acolyte as well. You got The Mask of Fear, which is the Reign of the Empire series that's coming out. It's a trilogy. This one I can't wait for, which comes out February 25th, actually. It's only about a month and a half away. You got a novel for the Bad Batch called Sanctuary that is coming out. And then on the comic side, you got High Republic wrapping up their Phase 3 comics. You've got the Battle of Jakku series that's currently running now. That's ending here in 2025. But then the new comic series, there's one kicking off here soon. It's going to be a one-shot right now to start. But I think it's going to be a series. But it's going to bridge the gap between The Last Jedi and The Rise of Skywalker and follow Kylo Ren's journey of that year.
Oh.
Right. So, and it's by Charles Soule, who's been writing the Vader stuff. So
it'll be good.
Yeah, it's going to be real good. It's going to be real good. And then there's a series called The Jedi Knights, which is going to be taking place before The Phantom Menace. And it will focus on Jedis like Yoda and Dooku and Windu and Kenobi. So that's kind of the top line. Again, no movies. One live action series, lots of publication. So, what are you most looking forward to in that?
If I had to pick one, it probably would be Andor season 2.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's the obvious choice.
Obvious.
Yeah.
But if I had to pick a close second, it would be Visions. I have thoroughly enjoyed both previous seasons of Visions, and I just can't wait for this one.
Yeah, I knew you'd be leaning towards that. I enjoy Visions. It's not a big thing for me, so I'll definitely watch it. Andor, hands down. I'll be very surprised if I'm not just totally into that series and loving that series for the last, part of it. I mean, 12 episodes is all we have left of that series.
Yeah.
I'm still holding out hope that there's going to be some other animated series that's going to be announced and then starts later in the year, because if Andor ends in July, you're talking half a year that's really just publication stuff, and we're waiting on news, and
there has to be something.
It's got to be something. Yeah, Visions
even if
will
it's
be
for
out.
the last quarter only.
Right. Yeah. Totally. Like, give me something around the holidays. It's fine. So I do think that'll happen, but we'll see. We'll see. But Andor season 2, obviously, yes, is the most standout thing. I think we'll get a little teaser trailer in April for Mandalorian Grogu, probably, even though that still has a year until that comes out. But right now, that's really all that's in the can right now. No other productions going on. I think there was some news that James Mangold, who is writing Dawn of the Jedi, is still they're still writing. They're close to finishing. So,
that'll be fun.
Yeah. So, I anticipate some announcements at Celebration about where we are with these films and which one is going to go in production next. Who knows? Because it's supposed to be by this time we were supposed to be getting ready to. They were getting ready to shoot the Rey movie, the Rey kind of New Jedi Order kind of movie. So, I don't know if that's been kind of put on hold or not. We'll see. But okay, so there you go. There's some things happening there. We'll see, and we'll see around celebration time, what kind of stuff we got coming. But publication wise, it seems like there's some good stuff coming out. All right. Skeleton Crew, episode 6 and 7. So episode 6, Hannah, was called Zero Friends Again. And this was the episode where, we last left. Episode 5 was the kids kind of fell down that trap door. And episode 6 is kind of how they get out and how they try to find their way back to their ship. What did you think about this episode?
I mean, it was kind of a matter of time before the kids started getting really frustrated with each other. That's just naturally going to happen with any team that you're with a while. There's always going to be a moment where there's a point of contention. And I think we were able to see more about these kids and who they are. We see Fern is not only somebody who's stubborn and wants to go out on her own, she'll actually also try to find solutions to help people keep up with her. And then we learn about KB, and we realized, because it was always curious seeing her with that visor. It's like, oh, is that just an accessory, or is that part? No, it's actually part of her.
Right.
And I think that kind of answers a couple of questions potentially. I have no idea, but it does. It shows how strong she really is and how fearless she is. It also shows Wim stepping up, and he's willing to step up and help however he can. But we also see Captain Silvo get into a pretty interesting predicament. And then you have SM-33. Well, no, you have the button that SM-33 told them not to touch, and a new ship is reborn. It's kind of like out of the ashes come this new, more solid team.
Mm-hmm. That's true. Yeah.
Because they talked, they worked everything out, and now they're united again.
Yep.
So I thought it was a very sweet episode. I thought it was a cute episode. And it really teed up episode 7. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. What about you?
Yeah, well, you definitely could feel that this episode was directed by Bryce Dallas Howard.
Absolutely.
Because I think this episode by far had the most heart in it. We really got to know and focus on these kids. I think this whole time, these first 4 episodes, we've been on this discovery journey with them, because we don't know anything about Ad-Adden. We don't know anything about why they're separated and have no idea about the Republic. We're kind of learning as they're learning. Even though we know what's out there, but we don't know why. Why is this planet been protected? Why is there a barrier behind it? Things like that. So I think at the same time, not fully, but at the same time, as an audience member, you're getting frustrated too. God, just find the coordinates and get back. And so that this episode is what happens when that frustration kind of spills over, right? And you have arguments, like you said, and you don't have to be kids that have arguments. I mean, adults have arguments too, So whenever you're stuck and you don't agree on things, you kind of have this frustration come out, and you have some fights, and so it was natural, and it was good to see that these kids. And I like the fact that they split them up, because it wasn't like the boys went one way and the girls went they teamed up with people they've never really known before, So it was good moments between, especially with KB and Wim. I really loved their dynamic, and I'm telling you, these kids are really good actors. I mean, I've been really impressed with them.
Absolutely. They're just straight up phenomenal, and I agree with you. I love how they split up the 2 parties.
Yeah. So we got to learn a lot about them, and I think it was at a good time, because now we feel for them. We're with them on being happy that they're together, and yeah, I think that all of a sudden you have this brand new ship come out, which, you know, which I can talk about it now, I guess. But so I'm assuming that, and I guess this might be obvious, but to me, this is an Atten ship that somehow maybe, I don't know, that the captain got a hold of and then turned it into the Onyx Cinder.
But it makes no sense. Like, did he find At-Atten by accident? Then that implies that he found At-Atten, stole a ship, and then returned to At-Atten.
No, I think the ship was already outside the barrier.
But then how did that ship encompass the At-Atten ship and crash?
Well, I think he found the ship outside the barrier because we know now that their ships do leave and come.
Oh, that's right. So he found the At-Atten ship, commandeered it,
yes,
made it part of his ship, went to sail through, but because the At-Atten ship wasn't recognized by the satellites, zapped it, it crashed.
Possibly that's what. Yeah, possible, or he just got through the barrier, but still landed or something like that. Because we still don't know how long he's been crashed, right? I mean, how long the ship. It seems like either the ship crashed underneath this ground enough to where, but then there's no damage really to it. I mean, there's some damage to it, but it's not really that damaged. And then all this growth happened on top, or did it crash and the Atten people knew about it and then buried it?
That could be it too, because we learn that the parents know what's going on, essentially.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
Who knows? Maybe the captain survived and he's now the supervisor and nobody knows.
I know. I mean, that seems like it's kind of in that realm of possibility right now, but again, we don't know. We still don't know really the timeline of things. Really, that's kind of really. Then that's maybe why they're keeping the timeline different, so that they can justify those questions, those answers. So, okay, so then I think we both agree that it was a pretty good episode. I mean, at this point, it was one of my favorites. I really did like it, and going into episode 7 now, which is called "We're Gonna Be in So Much Trouble." You have Jod going to Atten with the rest of the pirates, and you've got the kids now in the Onyx Cinder, or not really, but it's called just an Atten ship, coming back and meeting up. So overall, what did you think about this penultimate episode?
Well, first off, we get the big bombshell that the parents know what's going on, and they're like, you weren't supposed to find this out until later in life.
Right.
And so it's like, don't tell anyone where you're from. Oops. Mm-hmm. And then you get Jod just being the awful pirate that he is. He's back to being Captain Silvo. He's able to sneak onto the planet At-Atten. He threatens them, and he reveals his lightsaber.
Yes.
That is huge. And the fact that it's blue truly does reveal that he was either a Jedi or more likely a Padawan.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a huge reveal. And that makes you go, wow. And for me, like, these kids, they saw this lightsaber as a symbol of hope.
Yeah.
And now it's a symbol of a death threat. And so we see the vault, like we see the mint, we see the vaults, and they're huge. And and we get this lovely reuniting of the kids with their parents. And then Captain Silvo wields a saber, and it's like, oh my gosh, what's going to happen next? Like, that's the hook that's going to get us to the end. I mean, who knows what happened to Captain Silvo's crew. Also, I did find it really weird that it was I claim, and then I I claim unclaimsies, and Smee's like, yep, good enough for me. I'm like,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
but it makes me think, what if droids truly have a part of themselves that is conscious? And he just really liked the kids, so he was like, yeah, that's good enough for me.
Right. Yeah. That's definitely an ongoing kind of debate about how much intelligence really do droids have, and the ability to make, like, I mean, they obviously have abilities to make decisions, but can they make their own conscious decisions? Yeah, I'm with you. I think this was, it's an episode that starting revealing the answers to these questions. Like we just said earlier. I mean, clearly, Jod is clearly the bad guy of the show.
Yes.
There were rumors about that out there, but then it was. And it's funny how, again, each episode has told us this whole time that he's the bad guy.
But he has those gorgeous blue steely eyes. Like, how can you?
Well, and he does gesture, like he saves them, but he truly is after this treasure. I mean, he's truly is a greedy pirate.
Yeah.
And now here's my only questions left that I don't know will get answered, because I don't know, maybe it's pretty obvious to everybody else, but the money, the gold pieces, the credits, they keep being referred to as Old Republic credits,
right?
But it seems like the fact that they have 1,139 of these vaults, it seems like this is the current currency of the New Republic.
Yeah, that's interesting too. Wouldn't they stop making it if they know that it's not, like, if it's not current currency with outside worlds?
Well, that's the thing, is I'm assuming it is current currency. That's why they're making them, right?
Huh. But they said that it was of higher value. So why would it be a current currency if it's like you have a mint edition of this? Like, that doesn't sound like a current currency to me.
So do you think that these vaults have just been sitting there with this money in it since before the Empire?
Maybe. I mean, they talk about you need to find a Republic embassy. Or Emiracy. Wait, not embassy. Emiracy? What was the name? The parents told the kids, you need to find a Republic emissary.
Emissary. Yeah.
Yeah, an emissary.
Which is kind of like a representative, I think, right?
Right. Yeah. But is that referring to the Old Republic or New Republic?
Because I think again, it's been revealed. I think the parents well know exactly what the history has been.
Okay.
Like this is a
planet to protect this.
Like, this is a Republic world. Like, they are part of the New Republic. They are part of the Republic. And I think they're very well aware that there was a civil war and the Empire ruled the galaxy for 25 years.
Okay, so they're aware of that much as well.
I think so. I think they know everything. Just the kids are kept protected in a sense from the outside, what's happening out there, right?
Oh, I gotcha. Okay.
That's what I'm gathering. Okay. And what I'm kind of understanding is that this was the currency, like this was the mint that created the money during the Old Republic, pre-Clone Wars, right? And maybe even as far back as you can imagine, right?
Right.
The Old Republic, meaning like thousands of years. Now I do wonder, like, was there a mint on every one of these planets? Or was it just they all had different, because Kim was saying how they're all like magical planets or whatever, and they all had a purpose, and it's like I don't know if it was the same purpose or not, but
yeah, I wonder if we will get all these questions answered.
And maybe that's not fully important, and maybe it's like one of the things when the encyclopedia comes out for this show that kind of talks about it, right? But here's the thing: is one question which I hope would get answered is, so when the Empire took over, clearly Palpatine knew about this. I mean, I don't know who knew in the Republic where these mints were, but clearly Palpatine in the Senate probably did. Maybe not. I don't know. It's like one of them things where Kim was saying like they were hidden to protect them, but in order to protect them, that means very little people should have known about it.
And yet all the Republic emissaries would have known about it.
Some representative would have probably known about it. Or was there some kind of like, government mandate that only a representative knew the location?
But
so
the thing is, the parents said, don't find this specific Republic emissary. They said, find a Republic emissary.
Yeah, I don't know. Again, now that, I don't know. Yeah, maybe the rules changed when the New Republic got established, but again, that's the thing is like, because as well as I do probably that there are places and bases that we don't know about. Like the government knows about it, but we don't know about it, right? So
that's true.
But we do know. Like for a long time, Fort Knox was the place where like gold was kept.
Yeah.
So it's not really anymore, but where is it now? Does anybody know? I don't know.
It's in the cheese caves.
The cheese caves?
Have you heard about the cheese caves?
No.
Oh, there are these where is it? There are all these caves full of cheese in America.
Oh. Well, where's the gold now?
I'm saying it's in the cheese caves. That's my guess.
Oh.
It's in Missouri. That's right. Hundreds of feet below the ground in Missouri, there are hundreds of thousands of pounds of American cheese.
So they put the gold with the cheese?
That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
That's the conspiracy theory I'm believing. They put the gold with the cheese.
Yeah, that makes sense. So I'm starting to think maybe that, it was kind of a Republic law that only certain level of security clearance or knew where this was, where this planet was, where they stored all of this, because it's true. Like if everyone knew that these vaults were here, I mean, it would get, the syndicates would come after this, like bounty hunters would come. I mean, it's like everyone. So, but that then speaks to my curiosity of when Palpatine took over, because they started making their own currency.
Right.
Imperial credits. So where was that getting made? And we know from when Mando, you remember Mando got the Beskar, because they used Beskar. The Empire used Beskar to create currency.
That's right.
Right? I don't know if that was the only currency, because if you look at like when Solo was playing, when they play Sabacc, like there's all kinds of forms of coinage, right?
That's a good point.
It's not all the same. So, but then it's like every country has its own currency. So maybe it's like every system has its own currency. So that's where it starts. That's where my mind starts going when you're talking about like the entire galaxy. Like, how does it work? Because
I have no.
This seems like truly that what I'm starting to think is I'm starting to think that truly this was the currency for thousands and thousands of years.
Yes.
And at some point, and it's possible at the time of the Empire, it stopped.
Yes.
So I don't believe, part of me right now is on the belief that they are not currently creating new credits, because they've got a thousand vaults full of this stuff, but they're also not using it.
Right.
So it's just basically sitting there. Now, so that goes, again, I keep answering questions with new questions. But, at the beginning of this series, they talked about the parents doing the great work. So it's like, What is the great work? is the great work making more currency? Because it doesn't seem like they need to do that if they've got all of this money sitting in there. So
is the great work them protecting all this money?
that could be it too. Exactly. That could be it too. Because when they talk about being analysts and stuff like that, they could be just like completely analyzing whether or not they're getting found, or they got to like check the security, and so the great work could be the protection of the planet.
My brain hurts.
Yeah, I mean, I'm telling you, this episode just started like flooding me with questions, and because it's cool to see all that stuff, but for me, of course, I always go back to logistics, and it's like, wait a minute, how does this work in this galaxy?
How does this make sense?
Because George Lucas, and I'm sure Filoni has an answer. Like, he's already thought about this, and
there is an answer. They have an answer, and I don't know if we're going to get it in the next episode. We might get it in a comic or something. I don't know.
Yeah, correct, or some encyclopedia that comes out.
Something.
But we haven't seen. I don't recall if you have. I don't remember in Mando or in Ahsoka, like seeing anybody pay with credits or do anything with credit. So I don't know what they're using at this time period, like the normal people.
Right.
Because everybody that saw this was blown away. Like, this is old. Like, this is like ancient.
Like, there was credits mentioned, but it was either in a bag or it was in such a wide shot you couldn't necessarily see what they were using, I think.
Yeah, like right now, all I can think of it was that container that had the Beskar Imperial credits.
Yes.
I don't remember any kind of New Republic credits. I could be wrong. I mean, anybody listening, Thrawn, I know you probably maybe have the answer, but I'd have to go back and kind of look at that and see. But like in that episode, I think it was episode 5 when they first show up at the resort. He slides those credits to her, bribing her, right?
Yeah, and she's like, "Oh, this."
And she's taking them like she knows what they are, and that they're probably worth a lot. So that's what kind of made me think like it's a current currency again. But I don't think it is. I really don't think it is. Not if everybody keeps calling it Old Republic credits. So.
And you would say mint edition, like no, it's
yes. So
it's not.
Anyway, but you're talking you're talking about a lot. I mean, that vault was massive.
lot of money.
Yeah, and I just read online on StarWars.com the trivia thing about it, because the droid says there's 1,000. So he said, "How many do you have of these?" And he said 1,138 more. Or, well, he said 1,139, which means there's 1,138 more. And what is that? That's George's 1138, right?
Oh my gosh!
So it's pretty neat. Of course,
That's amazing.
They're always kind of shout out to George.
Amazing.
Okay, so yeah, there you go. I think look. To be honest, I mean, I think this episode was okay. I mean, it was, for me, it wasn't like jaw dropping for me. I mean, again, it raises a lot of questions and stuff, but
got me ready and excited for the next episode.
Yeah,
sure.
I think you're into it a little more. So where are you? Because we haven't really talked about this either. But where are you with overall? Like, because I will say for me, I like it. I think it's good. I think the actors are better than I anticipated, and I think it's very heartfelt. I'm not that big into pirates, so that part of it is really doesn't capture me as much, right? I mean, I found myself, to be honest, I think it was episode 5. I don't think it was this last one. I think it was episode 6 last week. Like, my daughter was like, "Hey, it's Tuesday, it's Skeleton Crew, right?" And I'm like, "Oh yeah." Like, I probably wouldn't have even thought about it until she said it. It was, so I'm enjoying it, but it's not like I'm highly anticipating it. So where are you with this, like, overall right now?
I'm overall really, really enjoying this. I still am holding out until the last episode before giving a true verdict. But this is just fun. I do love pirates. As a huge Pirates of the Caribbean fan,
Yeah, see, yeah.
so I love this, and Goonies and Treasure Planet and Pirates of the Caribbean. Like I love it. Like this is very nostalgic for me. But once again, I'm waiting until how they wrap things up in the final episode before saying where it ranks for me.
Yeah, yeah. No, see, I love Goonies, but see, Goonies, they're searching for a pirate ship.
Right.
This is like this is Pirates of the Caribbean in Star Wars, basically, which I think you're good. You're happy about that, but like,
Yeah.
you know, Pirates of the Caribbean, like I actually really liked the first movie, but I never really got into the later ones. You know,
Second and third were like, I loved the first. Second and third I enjoyed, and then the fourth and fifth I was like, why?
oh, there's a fifth one. I don't even know if I knew there was
There's
a fifth one. Wow. And I know Johnny Depp is probably in it, right?
Yeah, he's in it. I think it's.
But Orlando Bloom, is he Orlando Bloom in it?
Wait. Because the fourth was the Fountain of Youth.
Well, the fourth was when I think didn't Penelope Cruz. That's when she got into it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard about that one. I didn't know about the fifth one. Is she in the fifth one?
No, she's not.
Oh, okay.
But Javier Bardem is in it.
Well, because he's
Wait.
Who did he play? I can't remember.
5 was Penelope Cruz? No. 5 was not Penelope Cruz.
No, she was 4. 4 was called Stranger Tides. On Stranger Tides,
yeah, this
right?
is called Dead Men Tell No Tales.
Oh, see, I didn't even know that one came out.
And supposedly Pirates of the Caribbean 6 is in development.
It's in development. Yeah, I heard about that too.
But yeah, no, Dead Men Tell No Tales. I'm pretty sure Captain Jack Sparrow searches for the Trident of Poseidon to rule the sea while being pursued by an old rival, Captain Salazar, and the crew of Deadly Ghosts.
Oh, interesting. So that's a whole different story.
Yep.
Then okay. Maybe I'll get around to watching. I've never seen the fourth one, but I knew they made it. And then I didn't even know they made a fifth one. So, all right. Okay, everybody, get ready for the finale, season finale. Maybe not series finale, hopefully not, but season finale of Skeleton Crew coming out on Tuesday night. And we'll be back next week to talk about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, we will.
Good stuff. All right.
Good stuff indeed.
Thanks, patrons, as always, for your support. Thanks, everybody, for checking us out and hanging with us through 2024. We are looking forward to all that's coming in 2025. A big kind of shout out for anybody in the California area.
Yes.
That's, we know some people that we work with that have been evacuated out there. And of course, we talked to a lot of our clients and our partners out of there that are just, going through a lot of stuff out there right now. And it's just devastating and heartbreaking to see, that town kind of go through what's going through. But hopefully everybody stays safe and can get back to some normalcy soon. So, all right, thanks, Hannah. Thanks, always.
Dave. Thanks, Dave. As always.
Yeah, we'll check out episode 8 next week, and thanks everybody. Hope everybody has a great weekend. We will see you next week. May the Force be with you.